You're done here. Don't call, don't come back. We're moving forward without you. That voicemail came in at 7:12 a.m. on a Thursday in October while I was standing in line at a cafe on Wabash Avenue, waiting for an oat milk latte I didn't even want. 34 seconds. That's all it took for my mother to erase 29 years of being her emergency fund, her retirement plan, her crisis manager, and her emotional shock absorber. She didn't kick me out of a bedroom. She kicked me out of a family I had been financing since I was 19. What she didn't realize? The daughter she tried to discard was a senior forensic risk analyst, and if you remove a risk analyst from your life, you better pray she doesn't audit you back. Before I tell you what happened next, drop your name and city in the comments. I read every single one. And tell me, if your family treated you like a walking ATM, would you finally shut it down? Because what I did next wasn't revenge, it was compliance. I didn't cry, I didn't argue, I didn't text back paragraphs begging for context. I replayed the voicemail once, then I archived it. My name is Avery Cole. I live in downtown Chicago. I manage financial exposure for tech firms, meaning I identify weak points before they become catastrophic losses. That Thursday morning, I realized I had been the weakest point in my own life. For 10 years, I had quietly funded my mother's high-rise condo on Lakeshore Drive, my younger brother Ethan's startup that never launched, my sister Mariah's boutique fitness studio, private health insurance policies, utility bills, car leases, property taxes, all under the banner of Family Supports Family. The voicemail changed the contract. You're out, we're moving on without you. Perfect, so did I. By 7:46 a.m., I was home, laptop open, coffee untouched. In my world, when access is abused, permissions are revoked. I logged into the condo's utility accounts, electricity, gas, water, internet. I didn't cancel them. I removed my name. I updated contact emails to my mother's. I unlinked my bank account. Next was Ethan. He carried a secondary business card under my credit line. Last month's critical expense? A $4,200 ergonomic standing desk and a $2,700 gaming monitor. I opened the banking app, tapped his card, report lost or stolen, deactivated. Then Mariah, her fitness studio's lease guarantee, me. Her merchant processing account, backed by my credit. I filed a notice of withdrawal as guarantor, citing fraudulent financial exposure. Everything was legal, everything was documented, everything was quiet. By 8:13 a.m., the invisible scaffolding I had built around their lifestyle was gone. No drama, no yelling, just clean detachment. That afternoon, I opened a spreadsheet I titled Emotional Investment Portfolio, 2014 to 2024. Final total? $312,480. That was the cost of being the reliable one. Line items stared back at me like ghosts. $18,000 for Ethan's failed app prototype, $9,600 for Mariah's Pilates reformers, $11,400 in emergency dental bills, $22,000 covering condo mortgage gaps, $7,800 annual insurance premiums. I remembered eating dollar pasta during one stretch while Mariah posted beach selfies captioned, "Blessed and balanced." They didn't want a daughter, they wanted a liquidity event, and I had just delisted myself. Reality hit them like a market crash. Ethan called first, panicked. They declined my card, fix it. I let it ring. Then Mariah texted, "Studio rent bounced, is this a joke?" No, this was accounting. Then my mother. 3 missed calls, 1 voicemail. How could you embarrass us like this? Embarrass. Not hurt, not betrayed, embarrassed, because power built on borrowed money evaporates fast. Instead of introspection, they chose public narrative control, Facebook posts, vague booking, a daughter who forgot her roots. Extended family piled in. I was tagged in passive-aggressive Bible verses about honoring your mother. But here's the truth about enablers. They love the beneficiary of your labor until the labor stops. Then they ask questions. What I uncovered next changed everything. During one of Mariah's emergency visits 2 months earlier, she'd asked to use my home office printer. I didn't think twice. Vanessa, my attorney, thought differently. She ran a credit audit. 3 unauthorized personal loans, $68,000 total, signed in my name, high-interest private lenders, timestamped 2 weeks after that visit. Then the final document, a life insurance policy, $250,000 coverage, signed digitally with a forged version of my name. Beneficiary, Mariah Cole. Effective date, June 3rd. The signature slant was wrong, the pressure marks inconsistent. It was sloppy, but it was real. My sister had insured my death. That wasn't family dysfunction, that was criminal intent. My mother stood outside my building 3 days later, mascara streaked, designer coat trembling. "The police came to the studio," she said. "They're saying fraud. Tell them it's a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding? Forgery, identity theft, insurance fraud. She cried about how Mariah would lose everything. I asked one question. "Did you know?" Silence. That told me enough. Then I handed her the partition notice, because while this was unfolding, I had quietly sold my 50% interest in the condo to a litigation investment firm specializing in contested assets. They filed for forced sale, 48 hours. That's how long she had before court papers arrived. She called me a monster. I told her she was right about one thing. We were moving on. Mariah was arrested on a Tuesday afternoon, handcuffed in front of her fitness clients. Charges? Identity theft, loan fraud, first-degree insurance fraud, financial exploitation. Ethan's startup dissolved within weeks. The condo went into court-supervised liquidation. My mother moved into a small rental in the suburbs. For the first time in her adult life, she paid her own electric bill. Here's the part nobody expects. The silence wasn't lonely. It was peaceful. I didn't upgrade apartments. I didn't buy a car. Instead, I launched something small, the Boundary Project, a nonprofit that teaches young professionals how to protect their financial identity from family exploitation. Workshops on credit freezes, identity monitoring, co-signing risks, emotional financial manipulation. Because what I learned is this: financial abuse doesn't start with theft, it starts with guilt. For 29 years, I believed love meant sacrifice, that if I stopped giving, I'd be the villain. But here's what nobody tells you. When someone builds their lifestyle on your silence, your boundary feels like betrayal. But it isn't. It's survival. My mother didn't kick me out. She released me from a contract I never agreed to sign. I'm not the family pillar anymore. I'm not the emergency fund. I'm not the backup plan. I'm Avery. And for the first time in my life, that's enough. If this story hit close to home, drop your city and one word that describes how you're feeling right now in the comments. And tell me honestly, if your own blood ensured your life behind your back, would you forgive or would you audit? Like and subscribe if you believe boundaries aren't betrayal. I'll see you in the next story of Justice Reclaimed.